Hello and welcome to the Ohio Association for College Admissions Counseling Articulation event. We're so excited to have you participating today. We have some fantastic schools with us today. My name is Jennifer and I'm your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to ask questions of our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening, so we hope that you will be joining us for our next session following this one as well. There is still time to sign up. You can do that at the same link where you selected and signed up for this session. This session, as well as all of our sessions, are being recorded. So you'll be able to go back and watch this again, share it with colleagues, or learn about other schools and programs from the video recordings that will all be posted at strivescan.com/Ohio-articulation. So I'm really excited to welcome our first school. We're going to be hearing from Ohio Wesleyan University.
Hello there, I'm going to share my screen. And I'm just going to be talking quickly about what is new at OWU. And I am Kristen Crosby. Thanks for joining me. This is my contact information, and I'll be sure to share it in the chat box. And let's get started. So in terms of what's new at Ohio Wesleyan, we are fully in person. 98% of our students are vaccinated, and 96% of our students do live on campus since we are a residential campus. We welcomed a class just under 400 new students. Our total enrollment is 1,426 students. And if you're wondering about the profile of our class, you can see our middle range for ACT, SAT. 26% of the first year class is in the top 10% of their graduating class, and 3.6 was the average GPA. And I do want to point out that Ohio Wesleyan has been test optional for many years, and we continue to be test optional even for our scholarship competitions. A few quick facts before I go back to what's new at Ohio Wesleyan. 1,426 students, as I mentioned, and about 29% of our students double major. So in terms of what's new, our majors have changed from over 90 majors to over 70 majors. And this had been something that was in the works for a while, but our 5 most popular majors continue to be politics and government, business, entrepreneurship, health and human kinetics, zoology, and psychology. Some of the programs that we did reduce included journalism and dance, and several other majors. We continue to provide hands-on learning through our signature program, the OWU Connection. And the connection journey is, I think, really well illustrated from this slide. Students have the opportunity for guaranteed transformational experiences in travel learning courses, in internships and research, and these are available to students right from the beginning of their first year. Another thing that is new at Ohio Wesleyan are our residential renewals. So Smith Hall is our first year residence hall, and it was completely renovated, and all of our first year students are able to live in Smith Hall, and they also have access to 24-hour dining in the dining center at Smith Hall. We also just opened apartment buildings for our seniors, and I think there's something like 246 beds in the senior apartments. So many of our seniors do have access to living in our apartments. And in addition to that, we have traditional residence halls, small living units, suites, and things like that. Some of our continuing and also new special first-year programs include the honors program, and you can see the GPA requirements there to qualify for the honors program in case you want to take a picture of this slide. We continue to offer the Economics Management Fellows program, the Education Fellows program, and Global Scholars. We have removed standardized testing as a requirement for some of these competitions. So if you have questions about that, feel free to contact me. Some other offerings that you might want to know about are our Sagan Academic Resource Center, our Bishop Access program, which is one-on-one academic coaching for students. It's fee-based. We also have academic advising, departmental tutoring, writing center, and the skills center offered through the Sagan Academic Resource Center. Our dates and deadlines remain the same, although we only have one round of early decision. We used to have two. So ED is November 15th, regular is March 1, and we've also got early action December 1st. And if you have any students who want to apply to start in January, we do have an application round for that, and that deadline would be November 1st. But all students, no matter when they, how they choose to apply, are notified on a rolling basis starting in mid-October. So students don't have to wait long. Even if they apply regular, they'll get a decision within about 2 to 3 weeks after their application is complete. This year's costs and financial aid, you can see the total $62,000, a little bit more than that, but the average aid package that we offered last year was over $43,000, bringing the average cost per student down significantly. And 99% of our students received scholarships or need-based financial aid. We have a number of scholarships, including stackable scholarships for community service, Choose Ohio First, art, theater, Charles Thomas scholarships, music. Some of these are stackable on top of our other scholarships. And that brings me to the end of our presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kristen, for sharing Ohio Wesleyan with all of us today. Our next school will be Youngstown State University.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you all attending. My name is Bill D'Amico. I'm one of the associate directors here at Youngstown State University. Before jumping into our updates, I do want to just give you a brief overview of the university. Youngstown State University is classified as a mid-sized Division I urban university. We benefit from a lot of the aspects of being a larger institution with over $39 million of research and service grants. We have over 115 different academic programs. Some of our most popular programs here at Youngstown State University is our ABET accredited engineering program, our AACSB accredited School of Business. We have all sorts of different health sciences programs, nursing, dental hygiene, physical therapy, respiratory therapy. Our Dana School of Music is actually one of the oldest music programs in the country, which is very popular. And then we have some of your basic staples like criminal justice, psychology, and all of that. We're also a Division I school, so if you have any athletes out there, we're looking forward to seeing them on our campus. So we do have a lot of the benefits of being a larger institution, but at the same time, we have the benefits of being a smaller institution as well. You can see our average class size here at Youngstown State is 26 students. So they're not going to be lost in a sea of people. Your students will get similar to what they're used to at the high school level, where faculty will call them out by name. So in my opinion, we really do get to pull from the benefits of being a larger school, but the intimacy and small class size are used to at the high school level. Some other updates I'd like to share real quick. On campus, we've built a lot of new living complexes. We have a bunch of new apartments on and around campus for students. And one of the most exciting things is that we just finished completion of our Excellence Training Center. So this is actually a collaborative project on our campus. We're partnering with Eastern Gateway and the city of Youngstown, where students interested in STEM majors can actually come to this facility, work with additive manufacturing, so 3D printers. There's all sorts of robotics labs in there. So it's really a great collaborative space. So for any of your STEM students, we'd love to showcase this facility if they get a chance to visit campus. Just to give you an idea, Youngstown State University really does pride itself in affordability. We're really big on students leaving with as little to no debt as possible. So first, I just want to share with you what our cost of attendance looks like. For in-state students, a full year of tuition here at Youngstown State University is just under $10,000 a year. That's 2 semesters full time. We do not require students to live on campus at Youngstown State. If they would choose to do so, you can see that we do have a $97.75 annual room and board cost. That's for a YSU hall. And as I said before, we did just build a bunch of different apartment complexes on around campus where those students can take advantage of that. So at baseline, we are one of the most affordable schools out there. There are a lot of ways for students to curb these costs. So I do want to just go over some scholarship updates with you. Our freshman excellence scholarships are admission-based scholarships. So as long as a student meets the GPA and test score criteria, they're automatically awarded. You can see our entry-level scholarship is a 3.0 GPA and either a 19 ACT or 990 SAT. That's the first opportunity. So again, GPA and test score required for that. As the test scores and GPA increase, so do the award amounts. Clear to our trustees scholarship. That's a guaranteed scholarship for valedictorian. So if you have a student that is ranked 1 or tied 1 in their class, they're automatically awarded those scholarships. And again, as the students' criteria increase, we're happy to bump them into new scholarship categories. So we look at final high school transcripts. We look at updated test scores for those as well. We do have some test optional scholarships. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. So those are kind of reviewed on a case-by-case basis. Aside from that, there's tons of other scholarships out there at YSU. Our honors college students have a 3.5 GPA and above can apply for honors. And if they have a 26 or 1240 SAT, there's a bunch of scholarships that they look at for, again, housing and for merit. There's 700 plus scholarships on our financial aid webpage. I highly encourage you and your students to check those out and see what's available. All right, coming into the tail end of the presentation here, I do want to talk about some updates on students becoming a Penguin. So for your students looking to apply to Youngstown State University, the first step would be to fill out an application. We are not on the Common App, so the ysu.edu webpage would be the best place for them to go to. Apply.ysu.edu is the direct URL. They fill out the application. Obviously, we do accept fee waivers for any student on a free reduced lunch plan. And then at the minimum, we would need the high school transcripts. As I said, we are test optional. So if your students haven't taken the ACT or SAT, they can apply as is, but we do review those for scholarships and then any other dual enrollment work that they're eligible for. We're more than happy to give them credit for. Just to give you an idea, our priority deadline is February 15th of 2022 for your seniors. By meeting that deadline, they're going to be eligible for all of our different scholarships that are out there. And I do want to just give you a brief update on our admission requirements. So this has changed a little bit over the past year. The new criteria for last year and moving on to this year, you saw what our scholarship requirements are. The average students coming into YSU is around a 3.5 GPA, a 22 ACT, or a 1040 SAT. For general admission, we're looking for at least a 2.0 cum GPA with a 2.0 and the core GPA, a 17 ACT or 920 SAT. If students don't meet those requirements, they go through a committee review. If that test score does not help them, we will remove that. We are test optional. We have a special review process there where essentially we're looking for at least a B to BC average in their core classes. So those are all of our updates. I do want to just put our information up here. If anybody has any questions, please let us know. We're more than happy to help. Thank you so much.
All right. Hello, everybody. Natalie Lugg here. I work with DePauw University, Associate Director of Admission for going on 8 years now. But we're located in Greencastle, Indiana. It's about a 3.5-hour drive west of Columbus, Ohio, but also a 3.5-hour drive east of St. Louis, Missouri. So we're in the middle of everywhere. This is a brief snapshot of more of the 30,000-foot view of how the world looks in at our tight-knit community here. But we are quite a diverse institution. About 25% of our students are domestic students of color, and about 15% of our students are also international, which is pretty exciting. We've had quite a huge following of students from Vietnam. This year was our first incoming freshman class of 2025, I believe that is. But average class size is about 7 tight-knit community will also come tight-knit classes, very much discussion-based classes at that. We have an 8:1 student to faculty ratio in our College of Liberal Arts, and actually a 5:1 student to faculty ratio in our School of Music. So we are a university because of our College of Liberal Arts and our School of Music. We do have a few different degrees that we offer in our School of Music. As you can see listed here, our most popular one is our Bachelor's of Music Performance. Those students are bringing their vocals or their instrumental talents to the campus. And then on the College of Liberal Arts, we have our Badass degree, also known as a Bachelor of Arts, for those of you who've heard of it. There's actually a lot of fluidity between the two schools. A lot of our College of Liberal Arts students are involved in our School of Music, whether it's for orchestras, our private lessons that our professors offer up, as well as different classes that we have there. But you also might see a few musicians that are also in your economics classes or taking a science class and diving into those labs on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So a lot of our students are very intermingled with each other. We are 100% residential, so our students do live all 4 years on campus, but that doesn't mean it's just going to be in the residence hall. Typically, that is just in your freshman year. And sophomore, junior, senior year, you have the option to live in suite style apartment living, in duplexes and complexes. You also then have the option, if you choose to go to Rush, you can live in your sorority or fraternity house if you are going to join a Greek institution, but we are also unique in that we have deferred registration on campus. So our students get here in their first semester as freshmen. They have that whole first semester to adjust to campus life, whether it's the classes, whether it's the extracurriculars, our varsity athletes, those in honors and fellows programs, just to name a few. So with that, we do want to make sure that that transition is as smooth as possible to the college realm. It is quite elite to high school, but how do we describe our students? From here, you can see that they're driven, they're curious, they're leaders, and we want to make sure that they are here to, yes, shape themselves, their identity as students, but also as individuals. What do they want in their career path? So what does that mean? For us, it comes in 3 different pillars: access, global citizenship, and leadership. So for us, access means access to our professors, our faculty members in those tight-knit classes, working with them on research, maybe the summer right after your freshman year, touching base with our alumni. We have 30,000 across the world that will help get our students foot in the door with the career path that they want to go down, which then opens doors to different paid internships across campus, across the world, across the nation. About 90% of our students do end up studying off campus at some point in their 4 years here. And we're pretty unique in that we have, yes, semesters abroad. About 68% of our students will study abroad. Then a lot of other students will participate in research off campus, and internships off campus, but also during our winter term and May term opportunities, the months of January and May, where they have quick trips where they can go to a completely different country with a smaller cohort, or they might do a quick internship somewhere, research on campus, or take a class on campus. So that's a little piece of access for us. But then there's the global citizenship piece. And that will come into play with different classes that they're taking, whether it's with their power, privilege, and diversity component class that they'll be asked to take for a graduation requirement, or 2 semesters of language. Maybe they'll go off campus, yes, for that study abroad, but also to really immerse themselves in a completely different culture. The final pillar is with leadership, and leadership can come in all ways, shapes, and forms, whether it's starting a new club or organization here on campus, whether it's just raising your hand in the classroom and really finding your voice or opinion. We want to make sure that we are helping you find your leadership skills all across the 4 years here on campus. But for us, we also want to mention a few different fun statistics about us. We have a pre-med advisor and a pre-law advisor for those who are thinking those particular graduate programs. We've got a pretty high acceptance rate, as you can see in a few of these different bubbles. But overall, we want to make sure that our students are fully prepared when they walk across that graduation stage in 4 years. So with that, it could be stepping into graduate school. It could be taking that entry-level job. It could be taking a fellowship or internship. We want to make sure that you're utilizing the resources that we have across campus and that we have across the world to make you successful in the career path that you've chosen. So I know I mentioned graduate school a little bit. This is a quick snapshot of where our students have headed off to with their masters, their PhDs. About a third of our students do head off to continue their degrees in education, but then we also have students on the employer snapshot side that have actually done a few internships with these particular companies, and that have actually led to entry-level positions. So a lot of popularity with these particular companies and graduate schools. But a little bit on the application side of things, we are exclusively on the Common App. It is free to apply to DePauw. We don't have any supplemental essays. It's whatever essay topics are available on the Common App. We've been test optional for 3 years now and are sticking with that. We literally look at every single piece of the application for us. It's not just about the numbers. We do like to see an average of about a 3.5 or higher, 28 ACT and a 1300 SAT. That was our incoming freshman class's average, which is pretty exciting that that's the highest academic numbers we've seen so far. But every single piece on an application, in your campus visit, and in your engagement with your admission counselor and just the university in general can help. On the financial aid and scholarship side of things, everybody is automatically reviewed for merit scholarship. The range is between $24,000 and $40,000 in merit aid, and that will just take into account GPA and test scores if the student chooses to submit. But we do have other scholarships on our website that revolve around ethics, that revolve around community service, and our full tuition scholarship for the highest achievers, not just in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom. If families are planning on applying for financial aid, we only require the FAFSA. Additional tax documents might also include W-2s or 1040 tax returns from the previous year. But we always encourage students to also check out any additional outside scholarships, and individual admission counselor for that student can definitely help in navigating that whole process. But I will make sure that I put all of my contact information in the chat if you have any questions. Thanks so much for having us here today, everybody, and have a great day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Natalie, for sharing a little bit more about DePauw. From here, we'll head on over to Eastern Gateway Community College.
All right, got to share screen up. Hi, everyone. I am Tiffany Frohnapfel, and I'm the Director of Enrollment Services at the Steubenville location of Eastern Gateway. And I do have Keisha Thompson on, who is our recruiter at the Steubenville campus as well. So we're both on here if there are any questions. And just a little bit about us, we do have 2 physical campus locations. So our Steubenville campus and our Youngstown campus. And then we do have a very large online presence that has just been established within the last 5 to 6 years. And with that comes our online union partnership, which I will discuss further into this presentation. So a little bit about us. We are a two-year public institution offering over 40 certificate and degree programs. We have over 50,000 plus online and in-seat students nationwide. And with that, there comes a lot of affordable tuition to make attending easy for our traditional and non-traditional students, and having areas of study in health, STEM, business, public service, transfer, in-demand career paths, and our transferable credits and programs. So with the on-campus and online combination, we're one of the fastest growing community colleges in the state of Ohio. And our union partnership with unions nationwide has allowed us to provide some of the educational opportunities to union members and their families to make obtaining education even more affordable. We also have workforce training facilities to kind of offer those quicker in-demand programs to get you back out into the workforce at a quicker training. And then our regional workforce training center in Steubenville and our excellence training center in Youngstown, which I know Bill from Youngstown State kind of mentioned our partnership with that. And then also our Aspire program, which is mainly, we use that a lot for our on-campus for those to improve the math and English skills as they are coming in as first-time students. And then we're part of the Ohio Articulation and Transfer Network. So that allows us to kind of have agreements and tag courses for easier transfer for our students throughout the state of Ohio, and partnerships and agreements with schools throughout the state. And also we've implemented 5 guaranteed pathways this year for Associates of Arts degrees that will take you right into a bachelor's for business, social work, economics, psychology, and sociology. And then I did kind of mention in the beginning about our growing online and our union partnerships. We are partnered with unions nationwide, and a lot of the Ohio Educational Association, OACAC, USW, Union Plus, kind of some of the ones that we see locally, to name some. And this is for giving that opportunity for students to attend, and you don't need to live in the same household, but it's getting those union benefits to have college covered under that. And there's no limit on how many from the household. It could be a grandchild, an aunt, a sibling, and you just need to have that union, your union local, the family member affiliated with that union, and their member number. And that union benefit will be able to have you attend courses both on campus at either location or online, depending on where you're at in proximity to our campuses. And then it's also allowed us to grow our advising center. So we have a student resource center and also our on-campus advisors that work with these students. And you get an online orientation available to all of our students throughout the college. And it's really geared towards everything that the school has to offer, plus the union benefit. And then you can attend full-time or part-time. It covers everything. So there's nothing in terms of max credits or minimum credits to use that. And then we do have part of our workforce training initiatives. So we've partnered with America Makes, and it's providing that workforce training program, and it's located in our new Excellence Training Center, which is partnered with Youngstown State in Youngstown. And then there are a bunch of student opportunities we have for all of our students across our on-campus and online locations. TRIO Scholars, which is great for all of our first-generation college students. And then our student activities, student government, ambassadors. We have a food pantry at both of our physical locations that we are always stocking and kind of working with the local communities to make sure that we are getting everything and meeting the needs of all of our students. And also just kind of our career development is working with alumni and students, both obtaining job opportunities for our students and working with those who have graduated and owning businesses to see where we can fit kind of our students into internships or jobs right as they graduate. And I'm going to put our contact information. So if anyone has any questions, please reach out to us. I know, as I mentioned, me and Keisha are both at the Steubenville campus, but if there's something specific to a campus, let us know. And that information's on there. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, for sharing more with us about Eastern Gateway Community College. All right, we're off to our next school, and we're going to be learning about Hiram College.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Jeff Mongold, and I'm the Associate Director here at Hiram College. Now, I've been at Hiram for 13 years, and this year is kind of very special. Last year and this year and for the next few years for me, because I currently have two daughters who attend Hiram. I have my daughter Zoe. She is a senior this year, and she is a double major, double minor, but she studies pre-med, but she also studies biomedical humanities as well as integrative exercise science. And so and then my youngest daughter, she is a sophomore this year, and she studies political science and then also double majors in performing arts. And so I'll tell you about a few of the things that we have as an update at Hiram. But if you're not familiar with Hiram, we are a private liberal arts college. We are located in Northeast Ohio. We're about 45 minutes southeast of Cleveland, about 50 minutes northeast of Akron. I have about 1,000 students. Student faculty ratio is 13 to 1. So students get to know their professors. They get to know them on a first name basis. We are located in the little village of Hiram, Ohio. Kind of reminds me of like a little New England style village. But it's really nice. A lot of the professors live right in the village. Some of them give you extra credit if you have dinner with them and their family at their house. So you really get to know your professors, they get to know you. You're definitely not a number, and I like that quite a bit. It's quite a bit different from my experience in higher education. I came from all state schools. My bachelor's degree was at a large state school. First master's degree was also at a large state school. And so I always tell students it's really about fit, what matches their learning style, what place where do they feel most comfortable. So some of the changes that we have going on at Hiram, we have of course, the traditional liberal arts degrees, but we continuously look at and add more of the contemporary and career-focused degrees, such as crime law and justice. That's become really big. And so it's kind of like a criminal justice degree. It looks towards law enforcement as well as FBI, CIA, but also looks at it has a concentration in pre-law, but not only that, but also in social justice and the way that works. Integrative exercise science, that's my daughter Zoe's second major. And that can go into physical therapy in graduate school, but also athletic training, coaching. And so that has become a very big major on the campus. Sports management is something that really blew up last year. And so a lot of students going into sports management, we offer that degree. And this year, what's really different is we are offering a degree in esports management. And as a gamer, I'm super excited about that. And so we're kind of moving into that. We're looking towards getting Division III esports team, building an arena. But that's a little bit down the road. In addition to our degrees, we also have professional concentrations like pre-med, pre-dentistry, pre-law. What's new this year is now we have a concentration that prepares students for the Peace Corps and kind of guides them along the way if they know that's the path that they're going to take. This concentration kind of gets them ready to do that. In terms of athletics, we have 18 varsity programs. About 50% of our student body participate in an NCAA Division III sport. And what's new in athletics this year is we've added both men's and women's wrestling. So Hiram used to be years ago a big powerhouse in wrestling, and so now we're coming back on that. But this time offering both men's and women's wrestling. And so that brings us up to 18 varsity sports in a population of only about 1,000 students. And so a very active student body, a very engaged student body. Hiram is a great place to go if you want to come here and actually do stuff, participate. The way we have our semester broken down, it really helps the students do time management and have time to really participate in both the athletic world, but also the academic world, plus clubs, organizations, activities, things like that. Now, in terms of the process, we have rolling admission. And so as soon as we get everything in, we make our admission decision right away, and we let the student know about it right away. And the student on their part, they have all the way until May 3rd to make up their mind. And so there's no pressure from our side. Our philosophy is that we really want the students picking the best school, best fit for them, the best school for them. And so we just give them all the information and let them decide their destiny. Is that my time?
4 seconds, Jeff.
Okay, very good. Well, we'd love to see you on campus, and I will put my information in the chat after this, but it was very nice telling you a little bit about my school.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for sharing Hiram College with us. All right, we're off to our 6th school of the day, and we're going to be hearing from the University of Kentucky.
All right, hello everyone. Jacob Westover here along with my colleague Addison Mills. We are both admissions counselors for the state of Ohio. We recruit in different areas. And so we're glad to share a little bit with you about the University of Kentucky. So let me get this presented here. We'll start off with just a couple facts, figures, numbers if you're not familiar with UK. So first thing is our student enrollment is just over 31,000. So we are a large public school located in Lexington, Kentucky. So depending on where you're coming from in Ohio, it could be anywhere from just over an hour to maybe even 5.5 hours. But for some references, about 3 hours south of Columbus, 5 hours south of Cleveland. We are currently hosting in-person instruction for students, and so we're pleased to announce that. And we do offer weekly regular testing for folks who are not vaccinated, so just some context there. Some other facts and figures for you. We offer a wide variety of programs and majors, over 200 to be exact. One big update is we did add a new major to our arsenal of programs. We now have aerospace engineering that we'll be offering for the starting fall of 2022. So excited to share that. Our student to faculty ratio is 16:1, and our average class size is typically around 25 students. So that's great that you can be at a larger institution like UK, but still have that very small personalized experience. And what's great is that our campus is well connected with all of our other colleges. So we are one of 8 schools nationwide that offer a wide array of disciplines like medicine, pharmacy, agriculture, engineering, and other professional disciplines all on one contiguous campus. So just something especially to keep in mind there. As far as admissions goes, so some of you may be familiar, but we introduced our first ever test optional policy last year. And we actually have decided to extend that test optional policy for 3 more years. So for our fall 2022 cohort, they can apply test optional for admissions and as well as for scholarships. Any information that you all have, the website is down there at the bottom. So please feel free to share that with your students as well. Regarding the admissions process, we require pretty similar materials as most of my other colleagues. We do have an application fee. We do request that official high school transcript. And then again, test scores if they would like to submit those. But again, they have the option to not submit test scores if they wish. And as far as dates and deadlines go, as always, we have our December 1st early action deadline. So that is our priority deadline for admissions as well as scholarships and the Honors College. So any students who do want to be considered for those opportunities, I encourage you to advocate for that early action deadline. Otherwise, regular decision is February 15th, but that is just for admissions as well as for our William C. Parker Diversity Program. So again, December 1st early action, February 15th regular decision. And as far as scholarships go, we have a wide variety of opportunities ranging from academic scholarships, which are if students meet the criteria and apply December 1st, they'll automatically be considered. Competitive awards start at full tuition amounts, as well as additional opportunities like our William C. Parker Diversity Program, the Legacy Tuition Scholarship, which is for out-of-state students if their parents or step-parents are alums of UK, as well as departmental awards. So if your student is interested in, let's say, business, agriculture, engineering, etc., they can apply for those specific college and departmental awards. One big update we did want to share, and you'll see on our website, the Bluegrass Spirit Scholarship for out-of-state students does now have an additional tier. So historically, this award has been anywhere from $8,000 to $12,500. We now have an additional tier that starts at $5,000, starting with a 3.0 unweighted GPA. So we're really excited to announce that as well. And for the next portion, I'm going to let Addison take it over and talk a little bit more about campus living and involvement.
Yeah, so very, very quickly in the balance of time we have left, the next couple of minutes, living on campus is a big part of the experience at University of Kentucky. It is very much a residential campus. Again, being a contiguous campus, we have 6 different room types. We have 4 residence hall styles and 2 apartment style. And then you see the 2 on the left, the 4-person suite, and then the 2-bedroom suite there in the middle. Those are the 2 that freshmen can select from. Usually 90+% of our students will live on campus their freshman year, even though they're not required to. We certainly don't have to require that or don't require that, but students typically choose to do that. And then a big contingent of our upperclassmen will actually choose to live on campus as well because of that awesome residential experience here on campus. Typically room and board, the average is going to be about $14,000 a year, but it can be a lot less and a lot more expensive depending on what style of housing and meal plan that students select. Next slide there, Jacob. And just a real quick thing about Lexington, Kentucky, it's just an hour south of Cincinnati, 2 hours of Dayton, so on and so forth, on up 75 and 71. But it is an incredibly cool town to go to college in. It's considered one of the top 3 safest metro cities in America and one of the top 30 best places to live in the United States. With a population of just at 330,000, it's got everything you want in an urban area with all the sort of attractions and things you can do culturally around the area. But then quite literally a 10-minute drive out of town, and you can be enrolling horse country or going kayaking or rock climbing at one of our local state parks as well, or any other place you want to sort of spend time outdoors. So there's a good mix of rural and urban opportunities for students while they're making their home in Lexington for the time that they're here at University of Kentucky. Next slide there. Biggest thing we want to push with the next 20 seconds we have is that we want students to get involved in our over 550 different organizations, everything from traditional like student government, Greek life, things like that, on down to really, really specific things. Like at one point we had a squirrel watching club and a Harry Potter club and an anime club. So there's lots of cool things to go on. We want students to get involved both personally and professionally and get networked. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you for presenting on the University of Kentucky. All right, well, we are reaching the end of our time together today. I just want to say thank you for everyone who joined us, whether it's live or watching the recording later virtually. We're just really excited you were able to learn about 6 great schools, get some updates to help your students this season. When you close your window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We appreciate your feedback. We also encourage you to check the schedule and sign up for the additional session that follows this presentation time today. And you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all session recordings at strivescan.com/Ohio-articulation. That is the same website where you signed up, so be sure to check back. Again, thank you everyone for taking time out of your day. Have a wonderful day.